Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rizky Kirana, and today I would like to talk about the language acquisition from the material of Introduction Psycholinguistics. First is language acquisition is the refers to the way children learn their native language. The second, language acquisition is refers to the learn of another language or a language beside the native language. For children, learning the native language linguistic competence develop in stage, from babbling to one word and to the word and then telegraphic speech. Babbling is now considered the earliest form of language acquisition because infants will produce sounds based on the what language input they receive. One-word sentences are generally monosyllabic in consonant-vowel cluster. During two-word stage, there are no syntactic or morphological markers, no inflection from the plural or the past tense and pronouns, and also in counter extend over the whole utterance. Telegraphic speech-like function word and only carries the opening class content word, so that the sentence sounds like a telegram. Next, we are going to the three theories. The three theories of the language acquisition is the imitation, reinforcement, and analogy. Imitation doesn't work because children produce sentences never heard before, such as cat stand up the table. Even when they try to imitate adult speech, children cannot generate the same sentences because of their limited grammar. And children who are unable to speak still learn and understand the language, so that when they overcome their speech impairment, they immediately begin speaking in the language. Next, reinforcement. Reinforcement also doesn't work because it actually seldomly occurs, and when it does, the reinforcement is a corrective pronunciation of the truthfulness and not grammar. A, tense, a sentence such as apples are purple or will be corrected more than often because it's not true, as compared to the sentence such as apple is red, regardless from the grammar. Analogy involves the formation of the sentences or phrase by using other sentences as the sample. So the analogy didn't work this time, and this is not sentence of English. Next, acquisition, phonology, and morphology. From the phonology, a child error in pronunciation is not random but rule governed. Typical phonological rules included consonant cluster simplification, the voicing of final consonant, voicing of initial consonant, and consonant harmony. But from the morphology, overgeneralization of this construct rule is shown when children treat irregular verbs and nouns as a regular, instead of when as the past tense of a go. Children use the go because the regular verbs and ed ending to the forms the past tense. Similarly, children use goes as the plural of the goes instead of guess, because regular nouns add n and is in the plural. Next, critical age hypothesis suggests that there is a critical age for language acquisition without the needs for special teaching or learning, and during the critical period, language learning proceeds quickly and easily. After this period, the acquisition of grammar is difficult for some people, never fall aside. Cases of children in social isolation have been used for testing the critical age hypothesis. None of the children who had a little human contact were able to speak any language once reintroduced into society. Even the children who received linguistic input after being reintroduced to society were unable to fully develop language skill. These cases of isolation children and of deaf children show that humans cannot fully acquire a language to which they are exposed unless they are within the critical age. Beyond this age, humans are not are unable to acquire much of syntax and inflectional morphology, but at least for human, this is a critical age does not pertain of the all language but specific part of the grammar. Next, we are going to second language acquisition teaching methods. The first one is grammar translation. The study memorize word in inflected word and syntactic rules and use them to translate from the native to target language and vice versa. Most commonly used method in school because it doesn't require a teacher to be fluent. However, least effective method of teaching. Second, direct method. The native language is not used at all the classroom, and the student must learn the new language without a formal instruction based on the theories of the first language acquisition. Next is audiolingual. It is a heavy use of dialogue and audio based on the assumption that language learning is acquired mainly through imitation, repetition, and reinforcement, and also influenced by psychology. Next, natural approach. This is based on vocabulary and not grammar. Focus on meaning, not from use the authentic material instead of the textbook. Next, silent way. Teacher remain passive observe while student learn, which is a process of personal growth and no grammatical explaining of modeling by the teacher. Total psychical response. Student play active role in this listener and performance, but is the most respond to imperative drills with the cycle action. Next, Suggestopedia. Students always remain comfortable and relaxed and learn through the memories of meaningful text, and although the goal is understanding. From the community language learning, materials are developed as of course projects and teacher understand what the student need and want to learn. Learning involves the whole person and language is seen more than the just communication. And the last is community language teaching. Incorporate all component of the language and help students with the various learning styles. Use the communication-based activity with authentic materials. Is need of learning are taken into consideration when planning topic and objective. And the last is fourth skill area. The fourth skill area of learning a foreign language need to be addressed consistently and continually. Good lesson plans incorporate all for the listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Native speakers do not learn the skill areas separately, nor do they use them separately, so they shouldn't be taught separately. However, it is easy to fall into the trap teaching about the language instead of actually teaching the language. Okay, that's enough from me. Thank you for your attention and watching from my video. I'm so sorry if I have been some mistake in this video. Stay safe and healthy and see you in another chance. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.